They're not shares. This is not a company. It's not a publicly traded equity. This is a protocol and a token that moves value on a network. So very similar to like email and data packets that move between email providers to be able to settle that message, that I send you from my Yahoo to your Gmail. That's the internet of information and the email protocol that allows those to settle between providers. Used to, back in the day, AOL, you had to have AOL in order to receive, from somebody else at AOL. You couldn't send AOL to Yahoo on the emails until the email protocol was the thing. This is a protocol that settles value. So you can imagine at scale the amount of payments globally that happen daily. They've never seen a market cap of a protocol or a network that worked globally until Bitcoin. And now, if you were using actual markets and banks and institutions settling value, that value is significantly higher than what moves over Bitcoin every single day. And again, the throughput would be required for that. And that's why the XRPL is uniquely positioned to be able to handle all those things. But when it comes to total market cap, the available supply and the total supply are two very different things. All shares are being traded at all times on the stock market. There's not like you can lock up shares. I guess you could borrow margin against them, but just like Bitcoin, I think Satoshi's going to move his Bitcoin also. So watch for that. That's going to be a sign of the end for Bitcoin, but that's 1.098 million Bitcoin that's locked up in those 20,000 wallets that has never moved. It's not available. Can't trade it. Same thing for XRP. There's over 48 billion XRP in Ripple's escrow, not tradable. So, if you just took that off the table, you got 52 billion in available supply, but that's not what's available on exchanges. Uphold has about 5 billion in retail's hands on their exchange. Coinbase is down to like almost nothing available for trade for XRP on its exchange. So, there might be a billion, 2 billion, probably less than 2 billion available on the exchanges for people to buy and trade. So, if you're thinking about it's going to take this much money to move the market cap, it doesn't work that way. There's only 1/50th of the supply maximum available for trade. So now those numbers come way, way down for the amount of inflows that are going to be required in order to push the price up to a lot of these higher levels. And again, if you had ridiculous amounts of demand for an asset and not that much supply, it really just comes down to economics. Like everybody took economics in high school. Supply and demand drives price. And the market cap is going to look kooky to people. It's going to be numbers that we've never seen before. But 10 years ago, if you told somebody that there was going to be $1 trillion company, they'd have called you crazy. And now we have multiple $1 trillion companies. So it's not that crazy to me to think that these protocols could be worth quadrillions, pendants over the long term if they're moving all the value globally. And that's what's being settled over the network.